Alright everyone, now it's time to talk about irony and hypocrisy. The legacy media is really sad right now because Elon Musk decided to ban a half a dozen journalist accounts from groups like WAPO and the New York Times and even CNN for doxing. It's about goddamn fucking time. Link in the description, archived of course. To be clear, doxing rises to the level of stalking in many cases. It's like if you've got publicly available address or something, like a lot of people know where I live in Rutland. If they're posting it, like, you know, it's already out there, whatever. If somebody really wants to be malevolent, they've probably already done a deep dive on the internet to find where I live when I'm in Vermont. And, you know, they can come and paintball the house or something like that. And, you know, that actually happened on one occasion many years ago. There's nothing to be done for it. I doxed myself years ago figuring, well, people are just going to stalk it up anyway, so fuck it. It doesn't really matter. If they show up and fuck around, they'll find out. Elon Musk, though, has looked at the situation and said there's a prevalent problem, and it's one that creators identified years ago, which is that the legacy media hides behind its press freedom in order to dox, harass, and stalk people on a regular basis. Journos will follow people around, giving, you know, live updates as to where they are and therefore their target, which they hope is injured in the process in many cases. They take a leaf out of Maxine Waters' playbook. Don't let them go and eat or get gas at the gas station without mobbing them. Make sure that they know that they ain't welcome. Their kind ain't welcome around these parts. Very interesting how it sounds like the stereotype of a suspenders-wearing, MAGA hat-wearing, toothless redneck following around the black family that just moved in. It's interesting how the shoe is almost always invariably on the other foot. On the rare occasion that it's not, it requires hate crime charges. Maxine Waters, meanwhile, she's free to tell people to go and harass public servants. Public servants. Crooked politicians. Unipartyists. But still harassment. Elon Musk saying effectively, look, the fact that you're a journo, you work for CNN, I don't give a damn. You're breaking the rules on the site, so, you know, we're giving you a temporary ban. It's like a 7-day ban for these people. They're not being permanently suspended, although I wish that he would permanently suspend the legacy media, or that he would put a little fact check, put a warning underneath their profiles. They work for CNN. This person might be a doofus and a propagandist who's lying to you. There probably are, so you probably shouldn't take anything that they say seriously. Make life difficult on them. For years and years, the legacy media has whined and whined endlessly about their need to have the right to stalk people around, dox them. You had that one incident years ago. I think it was Gamergate related. Wasn't there some teenage kid, he posted a GIF image at one point and got contacted by CNN or Washington Post or one of these others, and they were threatening to basically rip apart his entire existence if he didn't come out and profusely apologize and cry and donate money to the SPLC or some shit? Remember something along those lines happening. They harass people. They defame people. Goddamn, if Twitter takes up an anti-defamation policy, hey, you know, this is potentially legally actionable, so we don't want it on our site because we don't want legal problems. Just imagine how crazy it'd be then. You wouldn't have the New York Times. Neither the main page nor any of its journos. CNN would be gone. Fox would be gone. They'd all be gone because they all engage in constant defamation. The legacy media puts out hit pieces, defamatory material. They've defamed me on multiple occasions. Potentially legally actionably defamed me, although I'm too fucking lazy to launch a fucking civil suit that probably get thrown out of court by an activist judge, so they hide behind that too. Meanwhile, they're bitching and complaining about other users whenever they say anything unkind about a journo. I recall, it was only a couple of days ago, didn't CNN, New York Times, and a lot of the other journos and journo affiliates that are involved in bitching about what Elon Musk is doing here, you know, having an anti-doxing policy related to their harassment policies, weren't they bitching about the fact that Elon Musk was endangering Yoel Roth's life for posting publicly available tweets that he made years ago? I seem to recall that was less than a week ago that they were doing that. So, here's the threshold. The legacy media bitches about the owner of the site posting publicly available, non-identifiable, certainly not real-time material from a former worker who is skeevy and sketchy. UPenn took down his thesis. I think there was a reason for that, although it's archived, of course, so you'll still be able to find it. That's potentially harmful. That's harassment. It's stalky. It's evil. You're trying to get Yoel Roth assaulted. He had to flee his home in fear. Meanwhile, Elon Musk's fucking son gets stalked by a crazy man who thought that Elon Musk was in the car. So he decides to actually abide by the pre-existing doxing policy on the site and say, hey, this does actually apply to the legacy media, and you're fucking doxing people. And all hell breaks loose. They go completely crazy over it. Oh my God, they're clutching their pearls. Don't you know it's supposed to be rules for thee and not for me? We're supposed to be able to dox people. We're the press. Well, no, you're not. I'm engaging in an activity of the press right now. If I were to dox somebody's real-world location and insinuate they should be harmed, or that it was okay for someone's kid to get chased around by a stalker or something like that, I'd get banned. And rightfully so. You're potentially inciting real-world harm, and I mean real-world harm. I don't mean, hey, here's a 10-year-old tweet of a former employee saying something sketchy. That's not an incitement. That's pointing to publicly available material that had already been dug up by other people anyway. So real-world harm, everything is real-world harm and incitement except for actual real-world harm and incitement. That's okay. That's the ironic, hypocritical, sleazy double standard of the corporate hacks who dare to use the moniker press. You're not even the press. You don't put out any meaningful information. You have the right to have your tabloids. You're basically like a bunch of weekly world newses. The Inquirer is more reliable than half the legacy media sites. You have that right, but you don't have the right to harass users on Elon Musk's own private website anymore. I find this to be a great thing. I'm a libertarian. I believe in free speech. I also believe in a free press. But that does not mean freedom from consequences, right, libshits? I seem to recall that being a perennial line up until the point at which the evil right-winger, the proud African-American immigrant, decided to buy the site. You just want to keep a black man down. That's really what this boils down to. That's about all. Peace out.